Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Theresa and I'm very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful garbage mouth, and if you're not into that or weird stuff in general, then this is probably not the place for you. Feel free to exit out the video here. No harm, no foul, but I'll remember our time fondly. If you want to jump straight to the swatches and the review of the product, I'll leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. Y'all, I've been fucking sick. Like, it was really bad. And it killed me because, like, I was sick, but I was so bored, but I didn't have the energy to kind of create any videos, and I lost my voice completely, and it was awful. Today is the first day where I actually feel like a human being and decided to put makeup on my face. Actually, that's not true. Last night, I had a sudden burst of energy and was playing with this palette, and I created 2 looks last night, and I was hoping to film the review, but I just couldn't do it. I was just so like drained. Let's pack up and let's try it again tomorrow. I actually want to say thank you to those that have actually reached out to me. It has been very, very sweet and I really appreciate it. Thank you for checking in on me. I'm alive. I can't really hear out of this ear, so I feel like I'm screaming, so I apologize if I sound louder than usual. So because I was sick, I don't hardly have anything funny to talk about or whatever, so we're actually going to use this as mail time. So I apologize, but like, you know, stick with me this week. Hopefully somebody, you know, pukes on me or something and I could talk about it, but it wouldn't be fair to make shit up because that's just not who I am. I'm not an individual who's rehearsed or makes shit up. So if I have nothing funny to talk about, I don't have anything to talk about. But with that said, I do want to say a special thank you to those who have been sending me stuff to my P.O. box. You never have to send me anything. Do not feel obligated to, but if you do, that's awesome, and I'm excited. The first thing I got was from Valerie, which she has previously sent me something before, and I knew it was her immediately when I saw the wolf card. I was like, oh, Valerie. She sent me this beautiful letter, and she sent me some makeup, which is actually pretty exciting, if I can get it out of the goddamn package. I don't know if it was you, Valerie, or somebody else. Somebody messaged me about Notoriously Morbid Cosmetics. And I actually purchased something during their Black Friday sale that I have yet to receive because I think it's still in like pre-shipment or whatever. And so I started laughing when I opened up the items that she sent me because I literally just placed an order not that long ago. So I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of like trying them out right now, there was a thing, I can't even describe the thing that I ordered because I don't even know what I fucking ordered. I was in a feverish dream on Black Friday, okay? I was half dead and I ordered like a lot of makeup for no fucking reason because I was like, I need this palette for $10. Whatever. Anyway, so she sent me all this cool stuff. Oh my god, these are so cute. The packaging is everything. So I'm just gonna read like a small part of her letter. I stink at applicant. Blah, blah, blah. I hope you like the colors as I tried to pick shades that online looked like something you'd enjoy. I know this is a risk because you may or may not like the items, but I hope you do. And anything that is goth, it's like, it feeds the 14-year-old goth girl that lives inside me. Not on social media. I always give a thumbs up. Yeah, don't come online. It's not important. The internet is a horrible place, so the fact that you don't have an online presence, I think you're okay. I think you're actually one of the normal ones. So don't worry about that. Okay, I have to send you, I'm gonna send you an email. I'm not gonna open up everything because I'm going to do a dedicated video to this brand considering I just actually purchased some stuff from them. So there's some, looks like loose pigments. And then open this guy up. So she sent me some chapstick, which is really awesome because I live for chapstick. Oh, Frankenberries. Oh, that's adorable. Venom and Blueberries. Oh my god, I can't even, these names are killing me. Okay, and then she sent me some liquid lipsticks, which by the way, you did real good because these are colors that I would wear because I'm a neutral little bitch, so I really appreciate it. And oh my god, they're so pretty. I'm so sorry, I'm like a little bit all over the place, but whatever. Forgive me, I don't care. Look at these little guys. That's pretty adorable. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, Valerie, what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna hold on to these things. And I know I mentioned in a previous video that I was gonna do like a video just dedicated to makeup that you guys have sent me, but being that I did order some stuff from this brand, I'm gonna include this in that video whenever it decides to show up. Whatever. Thank you so much, Valerie. I super appreciate it. You are incredibly kind and sweet and I love it, and I love you. I adore you. So thank you. And don't join the internet. Don't. Just don't. Internet's an awful place. You made my day, so thank you. So the next thing I received was this giant box from Australia, which I was like, holy shit. I I was like in the post office coughing and everything, and this guy like hands over this giant box, and I'm like, I literally was like, oh my god, this is so heavy. I was so excited to open it because I was like, what the hell is in it? Anyway, this was sent by Trudy, and Trudy is awesome, and she's so sweet, and she's lovely. Trudy also actually has a YouTube channel, which I'll leave down below. I think she only put up a couple of videos, I think of her trip to Hawaii, but anyway, you should go check them out. She's a very lovely lady. What Trudy sent me is, and I'm not gonna go through everything in this video only because I have a special idea planned that I'm going to do over the weekend, so I'm not going to spoil it now. She sent me some really awesome cards, I believe from her and from Barbara. They were so incredibly sweet and I love them, and I was just like so touched reading them. It made my day. She also threw in this lovely hat that says Beauty Junkie, which honestly, no tea, like I feel like a dad in it, but like whatever, I'm living for it because I'm a beauty junkie, so I thought that was really cute. She also got me this thing, which actually is now gonna live in my background. She sent me Mr. Koala, which I actually just called him Mr. Koala. I feel like he's a Mr. I don't know, he feels very proper with the sweater. All he's missing is a hat. But anyway, this is Mr. Koala. He's gonna be living in my background from now on, so you might as well just get familiar with him. So yeah, so that's Mr. Koala. She got me a fucking boomerang. When I saw this, I started laughing. I'm like, I really kind of want to just throw this to see if it works, but it's actually really cool. It's hand painted and all that good stuff. And I think I'm gonna somehow put it on my wall. I have to like figure out how to mount this thing, but this is really cool and I love it so much. Sent me so many snacks, which, by the way, can I say that chocolate that is not from the United States is so much better than the United States chocolate? Why do we have shit chocolate? It's messed up. I had one of these caramello koalas and I was like, girl, I need like a whole crate of these things. Why don't we have this stuff in America? And she also sent me Vegemite, which she gave me instructions on how to use this. I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little scared to use it, but she said thin layer, so we're gonna definitely try this. And the other thing actually that I really love and that I wish we had here are these amazing cough drops that literally saved me and Alex this past weekend because we've been living on cough drops and tea. I might as well just tell you guys what my little surprise was because I suck at keeping surprises. Anyway, this weekend I plan on doing a Q&A video. So if you haven't been to my community tab, I left a question up a couple of days ago asking you guys if you have a question, let me know. I'm gonna do a Q&A video. Just leave me a question and I'll do my best to answer it. So far you guys have sent a lot of questions, a lot of work related questions, which was as expected. Can't really answer them, but it still made me laugh a lot. But anyway, feel free to go on the community tab or actually go on Instagram or Twitter or whatever and shoot me a question and I'll make sure to include it on Saturday's video. Alex had the great idea of like, how about we just eat snacks and you answer questions? And I'm like, that's a great idea. I love snacks and I love talking awkwardly about myself. So that's what we're gonna do. And plus you get to meet Alex, so that's pretty awesome, right? Oh, I also do want to point out that Trudy just didn't send me snacks. She also did send me some cosmetics, which I'm going to include in a future video. And I think a selfie ring light or something like that. Yeah. Trudy, you're too good to me, all right, Trudy? Like, I love and adore you. Receiving those items made me feel a lot better, so thank you so much. If you do want to send me something, which, again, don't feel obligated, but if you do want to send me something, I always have my P.O. box linked down in my description of every video. Also, keep in mind, you never have to physically send me anything, like products or anything, but if you do want to send me a card, I will always appreciate and love that because I love hearing from you guys, so yeah. On today's video, we're going to be talking about the Fall Fusion palette from Blush Tribe. And before I give you my overall thoughts, let me tell you a little bit about this palette. A stunning palette consisting of 9 gorgeous matte colors and 3 shimmers, this autumn-fall theme palette you were all waiting for is finally here. Okay, that's it. All right. Okay. I thought there was gonna be more. Sorry about that. Anyway, this palette, before I actually give you my overall review, so I'm actually gonna leave a time code down below. They'll jump actually more straight into the review. Let me just tell you a little bit about what happened with this palette because I feel like that's important to this review as well. I've heard of Blush Tribe very recently with the Hasina 2, that beautiful green palette. And I've always been kind of interested in wanting to try their products. However, I just didn't pull the trigger on it because it was an indie brand and it's from the UK and I just didn't know if it was gonna be good or not or whatever, right? So when the Fall Fusion palette was announced, literally everybody and their mother tagged me in it and was like, you need to buy this, you need to get this, you need to get this. Like, hey, did you see this? It has a yellow on it, you should get it, whatever. So I was like, okay, fine, I will get it, right? Fine. And I'll admit everything about this palette was really stunning. From the overall packaging to it, to the beautiful pan sizes and the fact that it had like these 3 colors here that were just beautiful. So while also placing my order, I also included a shipping option that included tracking information, because even though there was a cheaper option that had no tracking information, to me that's so dicey. Personally wouldn't do that option. However, I'm not to say that it doesn't mean that your product wouldn't get to you. It's just I'm crazy and I like to have peace of mind that I could literally track it at every second of the day. So that's why I chose the option of a little bit more expensive shipping, which I think kind of came to like 13 or 15 bucks or something like that. Anyway, the palette retails in itself, I believe, for 32 pounds, right? How much was it? I don't even know. I believe this palette retailed for 32 US. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I will leave a note saying how much the real price is. But it doesn't matter anyway because it's currently out of stock. So sorry guys. I've been really good at that lately, showing you palettes that you can't buy. I am awesome. So when I placed this order, I expected that it was going to take, I think, like 15 business days. I think that's what it was, like 10 to 15 business days. And it was from the UK. So literally, I understand it's probably from like one carrier bird to another. Like I knew it was going to take a while, so that didn't bother me. So about a month passes and I realized I never got my products. So I realized that I actually never signed up for an account with them. So all I had was a PayPal receipt. So I emailed them through the PayPal app, never heard from them. And I was like, all right, this is kind of weird. So then I saw that they had like blushtribe@mail.com or whatever. So I emailed them again, nothing. And at that point I started getting nervous because I was thinking to myself, I hope it's not a scam. Like I don't see anyone else experiencing this. Maybe they're just not seeing my email. So then I went on their actual site, and I think through the messaging option through TikTok or whatever their website host is, I was able to email them through that, and instantly they responded. And I believe it was Selma, who I believe owns the company, if I'm not mistaken. She was so sweet. So incredibly sweet and so apologetic. She's like, oh no, I don't understand how this happened. So incredibly nice, and it really like made the situation that much better, because at first I thought they were simply just ignoring my emails. It's just, no, they just never received them. So I think if you kind of have a similar situation, just email them through their website. But I do want to say that their customer service though is amazing. Honestly, as soon as I mentioned that I didn't have this palette, she like quickly said like, hey, do you want a refund? And I said, no, I don't want a refund. Like I want this palette because I heard nothing but good things and I want to review it on YouTube and all that good stuff. You know, she wrote back to me every step of the way, kind of explaining when she was dropping the package off, providing me the tracking information, everything. Like she was so incredibly sweet and awesome, and it definitely turned a sour situation into a much happier one. So I have to say thank you so much, Selma, because one, you got this out ASAP, and I feel like after I emailed you guys, like I immediately got my palette, which was so sweet, and I was so happy to receive this palette. So with that said, let's talk about the palette. First of all, the size of it is gorgeous, right? I actually thought it looked a little bit smaller, and I was surprised to see how big it was. It's not overly huge, it's not cumbersome or anything like that. It's a big girl, you know, she's a thick girl. But the packaging is very unique, and it definitely speaks to the colors that are in this palette. So when you open her up, you get 12 full-size pans that kind of remind you of Juvia's Place, which I'm gonna stop right here and say that I know they recently released 2 palettes, like the Paulina palette, which by the way, congratulations girl, and they released some other palette that I can't remember the name of, but anyway, congratulations to you too, honey. And a lot of people in the comments were being like, oh, this is a Juvia's Place ripoff, blah, blah, blah. It's not by any means. Like, it's very different from Juvia's Place, like packaging in the whole 9 yards. And I think people get confused because Juvia's Place comes out with these giant pan size that are color, like they're the only ones that can come out and nobody else, which I think is complete bullshit. So that's why it kind of reminded me of Juvia's Place in that regard, because of the pan size. And that's it. The formula is different, the color stories are different, the packaging is different. Everything about this is way different from Juvia's Place. Even the feel of the palette is very different from Juvia's Place. So I'm sorry that I actually had to say that, but it was just the only thing that kind of reminded me, I think, out of everything in my collection was the pan sizes. This is definitely unique and it holds its own. Personally, I love the color story of this palette. I think it screams fall, it's beautiful, it's bright, it's vibrant. I was very excited to play around with this. And so while these colors are very bright and loud, you could actually get away with making work appropriate looks. Granted, the 3 looks that I'm showing you are a little bit, I don't know, maybe not so much work appropriate because I really just wanted to play with the pops of color. But I think in all honesty, like especially with the shimmers, you can get away with more work appropriate looks. The shimmers in the palette are very beautiful, and I think they apply really good wet or dry. However, I noticed the best application was with a finger. I felt like the shade Candlelight wasn't as good as these 2 shimmer shades, and I see that because this one immediately, as soon as I put my brush in it, I had a lot of kick up, a lot of fallout. It just seemed more chunkier than these 2, and And also if you even look in the pan, it just looks a little bit more cratery as opposed to these two. So I don't know if that was like maybe a pressing issue or if that particular shade is just like that. I wasn't a fan of that one too much. And I also felt like when I was trying to blend stuff out, a lot of the shimmer would disappear when I was trying to blend stuff. Not a fan of that shade. But these two shimmer shades I had no issue with. They were beautiful. To me, the real star is the matte shades. The matte shades are pigmented as all hell. Like they have so much pigment to them, it's unbelievable. I think out of all the brands that I've owned, this is probably one of the most pigmented brands I've ever had. Like a little bit goes a long way, especially with the darker shades. But the caveat to that is these shades, they do stain your lid. For me anyway. I don't know if that is something that happens to everybody, but I have literally loose leaf type skin. I have very sensitive eyes. It didn't cause any eye irritation or anything like that, but for whatever reason, the pigmentation in these two particular shades just stained my eyelids. But I'm not mad about that because it kind of reminded me of like Makeup Forever eyeshadows in that regard, like those kind of pressed pigments. There is some kick up, there is some fallout, so my biggest recommendation to you guys is that you should do your eye makeup first and then everything last. However, if you do go in with a very small amount and you do dust off quite a bit and you kind of just build up the color that way, you won't experience the fallout because, you know, ain't nobody got time for that shit, so whatever. I really, really like this palette a lot. I think it's so pretty and it just screams fall, and for me, I'm a fall baby to its core, so this is kind of my color story. The one thing for me that's missing in this whole palette, and I think this is just a pure preference thing, is that I wish it was a brown shade or a transition color. There is none of that in this palette. While I appreciate and love this color story, I feel like it's lacking that. Do I think this is a standalone palette? Personally, no. I think you could get away with it, but I think this is more of a companion piece. But don't get me wrong, if you want to look like a fall princess, this is straight up your palette. I'm very happy that I picked this up, and I'm glad that I pushed my reservations to the side, especially when it comes to indie makeup, because if you don't like something or something doesn't work for you, it's very, very difficult to return something and you kind of eat that cost. This, I think, is completely worth it, and if it does come in stock and you don't already own it, I would recommend you picking this up. I think this is a very beautiful piece, and I don't think I have anything in my collection that mirrors this. Also, I want to say this yellow, while I appreciate the yellow, it's not quite up to the standards of my quest for yellow. I actually thought the real star is Fire Pit, which is this beautiful like mustardy orangey yellowy kind of shade. This is fantastic. I want 55 more shades of this one. I love this one. This one, it's like a light pale yellow. It's not the yellow that I'm looking for. It's not my Moby Dick, but it's still a beautiful shade. Other than the Candlelight shade, I experienced really no issues. I liked everything from this palette. Other than a little bit of the staining, I really had no issue. I'm very happy that I did pick this up, and it actually makes me excited to want to purchase future palettes from them, like the Hasina 2, which is this palette right here, which looks absolutely gorgeous, especially for this beautiful green colors. But I think I might hold out and just get the Paulina palette because that looks beautiful and it serves my need for greens these days. I want to hear from you guys. Do you own this palette? Do you have another palette from Blush Tribe? What do you think? Do you like it? Do you hate it? I don't know. Let me know down below. I'm always curious to know what you guys think. On that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye.